Here we go.
I'll use my headshot for when I... Okay, movement 3 again. Again, you are the metronomes for this. 1, 2, 3, and... Listening to each other, flutes, oboe, and I can say oboe this time, flutes, oboe, and clarinet. Make sure that when you're playing your long note, you're listening to when they have the eighth notes, right? La, they're going ta, 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 vice versa. When you have a long note, they have eighth notes. So they become your metronome and vice versa. This is pick up the 17. 1, 2, 3, and... We'll do pick up to 25 though. Clarinets, make sure that you're still always thinking those eighth note subdivisions so that you can come right in when you enter back in. For the trumpet solo, I know it's not a very interesting trumpet solo. It's just C a bunch of times until B. But one, can you make the notes separated just a little bit so it doesn't sound like one long note? Okay. Ta, ta, ta.
It's not a solo, it's just the first.
Okay, just the first. Can you do that then? Make it just separated, and also it kind of builds this suspension, like the C just kind of hangs out and it becomes a bit more dissonance until the very last bar that we play that of C, B, that's where it resolves. So even though it doesn't say crescendo, it should still feel tenser and tenser and tenser until those final two notes. 25. 1, 2, 3, and... Let's go to the last 4 bars, and I'll make up for my mistake there. Last 4 bars. 1, 2, 3, and... Oh, sorry, last 5 bars. I can't count. 1, 2, 3, and... Just a bit more dramatic, I think. Good. Movement 4. everything in this one's light. You're tossing a balloon up in the air. You've all done that, I think, right? You're just keeping it bouncing. That's what you're doing here. Bum, 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 bum,
You
bum.
have suspended cymbals on you.
I've only got system.
Okay.
Here we go. And one. That's it. So I'll give, and one, ta, ta, da, da. Here we go. And. And so what they're doing there is quarter notes, and then you come in, you have eighth notes. So they're da, two, and da, 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 da. Beginning again. And one. Stop at 24, right there. We'll try that part again from 13. And Marjorie, you did you turned your quarter notes in 21 into eighth notes again. Da, 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 slow there, and we're slower at that point. Here we go, 13. 2 beats and you're in. And 1, 2. Right there is where it happened there. Yeah. We'll do once more from 13 and we'll continue on. Yes.
Are you doing a writ at the end there?
At?
Should I slow down and at like 20?
At 20? No.
Okay.
No, just what's happening there is the melody, which usually has 8 notes, it has quarter notes at that point, so it just sounds slower.
Okay.
Back at 13. Movement 4 of Simple Gifts. 1, 2. Oh, okay. I submit that and then Mary gets accepted for a master's conducting. 2 before 45. 1, 2. 1, 2. And 1, 2, and 3. And into 2, cut time. And 1, 2. So this is right at 103. I've got some markings from a previous conductor saying they're going into 4 before 99 and at 103. I tried playing around with that there. I'm still not sold on before 99, but that's a decision for another day. This is right at 103, which I think will be in 4. Here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4. This is right at 103. Da, ta, 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 da, ta, da. 1, 2, 3, and. All right, thank you very much, everybody. Next, Reminiscence. It's so nice to look out and see everyone. Yeah, it did. You know, this is what our band sounds like. Minus my wife.
Yeah. You want me to move?
She was planning on attending, one of her friends is one of the poet laureates of Vancouver. I forget exactly what description, but that person had a show tonight. She was on her way, but then that friend is suddenly really sick, and so she's driving back and is probably too tired to come to the rehearsal. Yeah. Especially after teaching a full day in Michigan. Heritage Park Middle. Yeah, she's the music teacher there now.
Yeah, that's what we're gonna do.
Yes. And immediately is loving it too. And has administration that back her and support her and all. I won't say much, but other than that's a complete 180 from her time in Sycamoose. Okay. As cloudy as we can make this at the beginning. There's these little like fuzzy motifs, there's lots of slurs. Mind you, when you don't have slurs, or the ones between slurs, there needs to be a clear delineation. And then finally everything again, as I mentioned, sorts itself out right at measure 66, or I guess 65. That's when the percussion comes back into our key signature, right? So now we're agreeing on things, and there's a path forward with this. But up until 66, it starts off kind of fuzzy and cloudy and starts to grow more and more turbulent and full of unrest. And finally we get to this this point of anguish right before 66. That's the idea. There's little that I think we can do from a technical standpoint to help you refine this. I think you can reasonably play everything in here. If anything, it's just getting more familiar with the time signature changes, and also when it's written in 4/4, but you have a part that feels like it's in 3/4, that kind of stuff. And then once we're comfortable with that, we can kind of open up our ears to the more emotional maturity of this. But I think just revisiting that in a short time for right now is what we need. Okay, Solas Ane.
Question.
Yes.
This movie we got a little lost with the timing. Bar 66.
Yep.
Is there still that
Good question. So right at 66.
Is it still going?
Well, I should say at 65, right, at the end of 65, you have a roll into the downbeat of the next bar. Sorry, 64, which is rolled into 65.
Mm-hmm.
And
but afterward, we're just wondering, like, is it still that like that
yeah,
sound
and
in
it's
the
just
four?
Britney.
Okay, but that
Yep.
3 sound is still going in the 4, right? You know what I said? Like da.
So at 65, right at your roll goes 1 da 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 da. So I guess yeah, it's in groups of 3 notes ascending.
Okay.
Even though it changes into 4. By the way, at 65, I would let that ring. I wouldn't mute it.
Okay.
Yep.
Oh.
Okay, so we're looking particularly at the chorale sections of this piece tonight, and then stringing it all through. So we will have a chance to go through the kind of bombastic discussion stuff in the middle of it. But start off, this is at 34. We'll do pickup for whoever has a pickup to 34. We're going into the key signature of B flat. And everything that we've done with chorales before applies here, right? You're listening to each other to guarantee a consistent shape of everything. And if you ever have those moments where you, especially on beat 1, you have a note that sounds crunchy and it resolves into something that sounds nicer on beat 2, you bring out that dissonance on beat 1 and then relax into beat 2 so that we have some shape to this overall phrase rather than just everyone playing the exact same way the whole way through. We need depth to this. And then at 34, we take 34 to 44 and we copy and paste that elsewhere in the piece just with a different flair to it. So this is the thesis statement of this piece. Pick up to 34. Here we go. 1, 2. People that have the melody, da 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 da. If you have that, 1, 2. Right there. So there's a small moment where we get lower in our register, and it can kind of make that end of that phrase a bit weaker. So make sure you add a bit more volume going down. Da, 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 da. It's the last note of that can taper off. That's fine, because it is a suspension. Dissonant, and then resolution. Try that again. Add more air as you go down low so it doesn't sound quieter by accident. 1, 2. Builds to this nice glorious chord there. So no note is quieter than the one that happened before it. Measures 42 and 43. 1, 2, and. Try that again. 42 and 43. Sure, pick up to 42. And 1, 2. And now the last thing is, I know it says slur. Can those last 3 notes that you play just have a little bit more meaning to them, rather than na, da, 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 a slight rearticulation, even though I know it says slur. That'll just help us feel like it's more of a resting place. Same place, pick up to 42, and 1, 2. That you can make is some of you are really stomping on those grace notes, JB. Get out of here. Da, 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 right? They can have a little bit more time than that, even though they're small notes. Small notes still deserve your love. Da, 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 ta-da. Drag it out just a little bit. I'll let you know if it's too much. But that sort of ornamentation is really key for a piece like this. We have to sound comfortable and confident with those grace notes. Otherwise, it just sounds like a mistake. Last time, melody, folks, 34. And 1, 2. A little bit longer, especially in the trumpets. They're still going da-da, da-da-da-da, ta-da. Elongate the grace note. 1, 2. Margins, a couple of times I think you turn that 4-4 into a 3-4 by accident. Da 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 ta ta. last two notes are quarter notes, you can hold them a bit longer. That's measure 40. Everyone who does not play the melody there, let's hear you. This has to be nicely balanced, so a lot of sound from the four of you over here, and everyone else don't get in their way. Unless you have a suspension, in which case pop out for that little moment and then go back into the texture. This is right on 34, no pickup. 1, 2. Oh, sorry. No pickup, gives a pickup. 1, 2. I'm hearing the folks that have moving notes there kind of put a really lovely shape on each individual note. Wow, 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 wow. And I'm exaggerating a little bit there. Take the shape and ignore the note itself. Think about the phrase here. Da, da, da. There it is, rather than wah, wah. One idea rather than three. Same place. And 1, 2. The 4/4 measure in measure 40 there. Anyone, I think it's altos and clarinet. Da 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 da. It's that if it's not strong and not present texture, it sounds almost like our feet's gone out from under us at that point. You have a very critical note, which is very dissonant there. It's on purpose. So give me strong note on the downbeat of measure 41, and then you can back off from there. I think we talked about that when it happens later in the piece. All right, before we do that again, then let's jump to measure 60 and see how this changes things. 60. Also, welcome Dawn. Da 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 da. Yep, that's fine. Yep. 60. 1, 2, and. The one that you have, it's not a right note, but it's a very nice note. Yes. Yes. No, it's a nice, not quite harsh dissonance. Almost nostalgic dissonance there, soft. Okay. So at measure 72 through to 77, this is tough. because it's loud the whole way through, and we have to fall into 77 and make it sound like, and now we're here, right? It still has to be big at 77, but now it's more deep and glorious. It's tough to do when we have that approach from 72 onwards into it. And so let's try this. We're going to start at 77, and we're going to apply a marching technique to it. And if you have a note that is accented, which almost all of them are, don't play the full note at the loud volume. Try just the front of the note, just the articulation. So for example, ta 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 ta, ta 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 ta, come back of it, ta ta ta. Try just that, and you can put some space in between those notes too. Ta ta ta. Try that. 72. Space between the notes, only play the beginnings the loudest. 2, 3, and. Big difference up here. Also, kudos, the high C up there, well done. Now do it again every time that we play this piece.
As long as it's not the first song of the concert, we might be okay.
It won't be. It'll be one of the closing acts, probably the first one, I'm not sure. Or the beginning of the second. Anyways, what was I gonna say? Aha! Now, we can look at if you have really long notes, such as beat 2, 3, 4 of measure 72. You can, now that you've hit the beginning of that and now you're quieter, you can crescendo into the next one. Da ta 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 ta, and that's going to give us some motion through that, some direction. 72 again. 2, 3. Now it's 74, 75, and 76. That's where our feet come out from under us a little bit. And my thought is this: we can counter that effect if it's suddenly sounding quieter by imagining that those 3 whole bars are one big crescendo into 77. Now it's not going to work if we're already starting 74 at what is it, triple forte, is it? So we're gonna have to subtract from that a little bit. Ta 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 da 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 da, and there. At no point should you be reducing the volume after the first beat of 74. Everything from that point onwards is one direction, right into the downbeat of 77. Let's try this again at 72. 2, 3, and. To 34, right through to the end, and then we'll take a break. 34 to the end. We might pause and recalibrate once we hit the fun drum stuff at 45. Just kind of get ourselves settled. Pick
It's
up the
been
34.
a while since I played.
It is. It's been a while since we've done this piece too, so. 34. Pick up. 1. Now that you know where we need to go, and that's our triple forte, make this a mezzo forte. 1. We'll go right at 47. You're playing percussion 1?
Yeah, bass drum, yeah.
There's 2 bass drum parts. So.
Oh yeah, no, I am doing perk 1.
Perk 1, okay, here we go.
Actually, the part that I want to make sure I get down is actually the lead up to that. Is that okay?
Yeah, and measure 45, 46?
That's right.
Okay,
Yeah.
First let's try 47.
Yeah.
And establish that, then we'll do the build up to it. Everyone at 47. And if you pick up, you can play it. Actually, yeah, pickup is in clarinet 2, 3, altos, tenor, and French horn. We can still use one of those. Or 4 of them.
Yeah, whole section.
Here we go. Pick up if you have it, it's 47. 1, 2, and... Measure 45. Dum, chuck, dum, dum, chuck. Forget about the grace note or the flam for now.
Yeah, definitely.
That flam, that's not a happy flam there. It comes right after a 30-second note.
Samuel, yeah, he's not a nice guy.
Samuel Hazo. Dum, chuck, dum, chuck. Dum, chuck, dum, chuck. Go, dum, chuck. Actually,
Okay.
loop 45. 1 and 2 and 3. Dum, really help me lock in, right? There's beat 1, and then boom, chuck, and chuck, boom, chuck, 2, chuck. And whatever happens in between those sorts itself out.
Right.
The second part that you have there at 46, boom, chuck, good, instead of the chuck, yeah, exactly, 6 tuplets. Let's have everyone right at 45. 1, and 2, and 3. For the first 4/4 instead. I was like, more from the low brass. Ta-da! It's just the front to it. Ta-da! And then you can back off after that. That's sounding really nice and steady though, and you're gonna hate me. It sounds like you're working too hard. Because you are. You're working very hard, and I do appreciate that. Ultimately, the goal is for this to just be light and airy. And so what I would do is I would find the sections of this, it's not a melody, it's a little ornamentation on top. Find the sections of this ornamentation that are the linchpins of it. Ya da da da, da 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 da, da 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 da, da 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 da, and have those be the parts that you give a little bit more weight and volume to, and everything else is a little like whatever you're doing. I'm a trombone player, so I don't use fingers. I use a thumb at most. And, so any of this stuff that you're doing, that's anytime that happens, it's light. And if you can get it moving in that direction, we'll be in very good shape. I mean, we're in good shape now. But all right, this is now pick up to measure 42. Pick up to 42. And 1, 2. I'm seeing some kind of like baby smiles on your faces, like, ooh, do we? Yes, yes, that's a very good sound. Thank you. Let's have a break. We'll reconvene. First, Brittany, do you have any announcements? Oh, okay. And in that case, we'll reconvene, let's say, at 8:28 on time. That's about 10 minutes or so.
No.
So, was that the only community band up in Prince Rupert there? Yeah, that's too bad. But I bet it's a very artistic community. Yeah. Everything. Yeah. What was his name?
I think so.
I recognize that name. I wouldn't have met him, but mean, I had heard big musical things at a Prince Rupert at one point, and the Terrace, which I know isn't close by, but it is.
We did stuff in Terrace.
Yeah. How long is the drive between? A couple hours?
Hour and 40.
Okay, it's not bad. Yeah, that's not too bad. I did my practicum up in Vanderhoof near Prince George. And for one weekend, I just thought, you know, it's report card weekend. I got to do all these report cards. I don't want distractions. So I booked myself a train ticket from Vanderhoof to Prince Rupert. And the sun went down, and all I could do was sit on this train with basically no one on it. I had no cell service, and I just typed away report cards and read a book. And spent the night in Prince Rupert at a hostel, and then hopped on the train the next day back. It was a good decision. That's my sojourn to Prince Rupert. Yes. No.
That's all that, they get paid.
Yeah. Well, and I've never done a report card on the train since. But. So you were a teacher? Okay, which, yeah. Well, the Poland family I was with in Vanderhoof, the dad was the principal of the school in Fraser Lake. And they never had a day that year when they were fully staffed. And so he was walking on the streets of Vanderhoof on weekend when I was there. He ran into an old friend. Oh, I thought you weren't living here anymore. No, I'm back in town. What are you doing? Well, I'm finishing up my degree to get my certificate so I can become a teacher. Oh, what kind of teacher? English. He goes, hold on. He calls the superintendent, says, hi, Manu. It's Brian. Yeah, I just hired someone. Yeah, I know I can't do that. Just say yes and hang up. He goes, you have a job. He says, but I don't have my certificate. And he says, you're getting it. We'll even give you some funding for it. We need you now. So, yeah. Yeah. Oh yeah, no, I'm so glad that I went up there. Teaching there is nothing like teaching in Victoria where I did my other practicum, right? Oh, do you? Yeah. My, yeah. Okay. Yeah. My wife, Julia. Yeah, and the rest is history. Yeah, oh, yeah. Yeah.
That's not me because I was
My wife is from Victoria, so we go there quite often. She still sometimes works at university there. When I was at UVic doing my teaching and music degrees, I got a job as a walking tour guide, and so I still do that whenever I'm back in town. I tell the ghost stories, and the history walks and stuff. We do.
No, I'm gonna go up.
Sometimes, yeah. I've been employed by the Old Cemetery Society for 2 years as a summer intern, basically cataloging graves and things. I got to sit in a house from 1873 across the street from the cemetery for hours on end, plugging things into the computer in a room where the former original owner of the house was found dead. So that was
What did you do?
always fun. Yeah.
And one day when she was a little girl, she was brought home to her parents for weeks.
Oh.
And across the cemetery, just divvying up the flowers. She just was ready to some graves and flowers.
Now that's cute. I like that. It's such a beautiful place. It is. I was just on a tour there. I wasn't leading it, but I was on a tour there last month. It's always so nice. Yeah. And the cherry blossoms are coming out. Good, good.
Even our band.
Who's that friend?
I will.
Who's that friend?
Denise Russell.
Oh, okay. My wife also plays the Chilliwack. I'm from Chilliwack. So.
Yes, but I tried playing it and then
They have a good sax section. Well, you're in a kid orchestra, right? Yeah.
It's okay. It took me like 3 tries to get it.
Just to start, that's an enough. It could be worth more. It could be
That's exactly where it
Thank you.
All right. Amparito Roca. And, Don, do you have rehearsal markings in, such as like start at letter E or letter F in your music?
No, not start there. Letters have been marked, yes.
Excellent, okay, because this piece originally did not have them. So.
Okay.
We're going to be starting at rehearsal marking F, otherwise known as bar 130. Let's just see what we have here. I anticipate doing a little bit of workshopping in this part here. I'll give you two, no, we'll start the bar before F, because the melody folks have a pickup of bump, 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 bump. This is the bar before F. 1, 2, ready, and bump, 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 bump. Again at that tempo. For the people that have the melody at F, bump, 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 bump. Lots of front, everything there is basically an accent, right? Top, 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 top. As crisp and as sparkling as you can.
Oh, yes.
Okay.
Yeah. 1, 2, 1, 2. Bump, 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 bump. Before G, a rich nudo?
No.
If you haven't, ignore it. Yeah.
Ignore it?
Yeah.
Excellent.
Most marches that slowed down before the recap were to accommodate the goose step made famous by Nazi soldiers in World War II. So this piece isn't a German piece. We won't be doing that. So it goes right through. Yeah.
Spanish word classes.
Yes. Well, let's still go right through.
Also, just keep going.
I don't think it makes a lot of sense to do that sort of thing in this piece anyway, just musically speaking. Up the tempo a bit. Lock into the first beat of each bar. 1, pick up to F. Well, bar before F. 1, 2, 1, and. we'll start at G. Can I just hear the bass part and the percussion? Bum, 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 bum. Whoever has that, and percussion. G. G for gnome. 1, 2, 1, and. A little bit slow on those snare drum there, snare and Dan. Now you're going to do the opposite of whatever I tell you. Those 16th notes should lead into each beat. Almost like a galloping horse. 1, 2, 1, and. Yeah. Towards the middle of that, the three of you started to slow down just a touch, so keep moving it forward. Be pushing me, push me forward, try and make the band go faster and see if it works. Then let's add on to that anyone who has off beats. I'm saying anyone because again my score doesn't tell me. All right. Bass, percussion, and off beats. 1, 2, 1, 2. Anyone ever with off beats, and there's pure off beats, nothing on the beat. Put a metronome on, obviously, but also take the first beat of every bar, and you know how you have a note on the and of the first beat? Copy and paste it on the first beat, so you have da 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 instead of ba ba ba, you have da 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 da. Practice it like that so that you really feel the sense of on, off, off, on, off, off, and then start to wean yourself off that. Maybe like bar 1, you put a note on the downbeat. Bar 2, you don't. Bar 3, you do. Bar 4, you don't. So instead of ba 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 ba, you have ba da 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 da, and eventually no beats will have an on beat. I'm talking about like pretending there's a note in the rest rather than actually there being one, right? So then instead you're thinking da 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 da. So you still have a sense of beat to lock onto, but that isn't actually in your music. You're inventing one so that you have a sense of grounding rather than just trying to guess as to where the offbeats lie. I hope that made sense. Same people, same place. Bass, offbeat, percussion, G. 1, 2, 1, 2. Let's add in the counter melody. 1, da, 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 da. 1, 2, 1, 2. Sorts with each other here. 1, 2, G, 2, ready, and. In theory. Good. Counter melody, I believe. Yeah. Most of the time, we're used to hearing the melody. So you have the counter melody at E. You have it again here. When a counter melody is introduced, it generally means it's the more important thing. So like, oh, that boring old melody, throw that in the background. Now listen to what we got, right? So when you come in at G, you are the true double forte there. And anyone who has the melody is one small step beneath you. This is everyone at G.
Great job.
1, 2, 1, 2. Melody, you're slowing us down a touch. Da 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 dum. Keep it moving forward. Da 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 dum. Da 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 da. Aim for the first beat of bars rather than trying to think long phrases. Aim for the first beat and everything else kind of flows off after. I've noticed a lot of you tapping your foot. That can be great. Glad you're keeping in time. On a wooden stage, that can be disastrous though because we'll have bass drum to cover it up. But just a good habit to get into if you do need to tap something, tap just your toe inside your shoe. Less visibly noticeable, less audible as well. G again. Here we go. 1, 2, 1, and. If you don't have that, shh, we need to hear that, not la 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 la. That's not a good melody. Bar before F. 1, 2, 1, 2. Let's start at 96 with percussion, bari sax, and that's it right now. Percussion and bari sax, 96. I believe it's only mallet 2. You already played mallet 1, mallet 2? Okay, then no percussion. Just bari sax. Ready, Savannah?
Denied.
Pretty cool. 1, 2, 3, 4. And she keeps doing that too. So they have this ostinato, thank you, in the background, and that's the foundation, everything. Plus, in mallet 2, there's mallet percussion going ba da 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 da. So you have to imagine that. Now we're going to add on top of that the flute part. Flutes, you have something a little bit wonky. It's supposed to feel like it's in 3. But in 3 it actually feels like it's in 2. So 2 inside of 3 inside of 4. What it means is da 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 da. Here we go. 96 flute and Savannah. 1, 2, 3, 4. Da 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 da. That's it. A little bit more front to those notes. More like bells. Ding, clong, cling. 1, 2, 3, 4. Da, 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 touch late on those. So listen carefully. I'll say your rhythm and Savannah will play. Thanks, Savannah. 1, 2, 3, and da, da. Oh, don't play. Flutes just me and Savannah. And I'll say your rhythm. Follow along. 1, 2, 3, and ta, 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 ta. They're all the same length. They just don't look like it because it's tied and dotted and all that stuff. Here we go. Flute spatted back in. 1, 2, 3, and ta, 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 ta. Cool. Now, on top of that, we're going to add the alto saxes, euphonium, and, oh, sorry, clarinet 1. You should add that into there too. You have the same thing. Clarinet 1. Oh, let's have everyone there. That all kind of fits in. And of course, clarinet 2 and 3, you're trading off of da 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 ba da 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 back and forth. At 96. So get ready, trumpets. You're coming in at 97. 1, 2, 3, 4. Pick up to 104, trumpet as a very fantastic solo, ba-da-da-da-da, end of solo. So on beat 2, or sorry, beat 3, I'll give you 1, 2, da-da, and you're in. And then it happens again in 106 with trombone, 1, 2, da-da-da-da-da. And then it happens in flutes 2 bars later, 1, 2, da-da-da-da-da. So we should hear each one of those entrances. What happens after those first 4 notes isn't as important. We need those first 4 notes. Go back to 96. 1, 2, 3, 4. Part of this piece, the 7/8 measure. Everyone count with me. You're going to go 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. Good. That's a typical measure of 4/4, subdividing into 8th notes. Now take each beat that I have, and you're just going to count how many notes are in that beat. 1 2 1 2 1 2 1 2 1 2 1 2 1 2 1 2 1 2 1 2 1 2 1 2. Let's put it in 3/4. 1 2 1 2 1 2 1 2 1 2 1 2 1 2 1 2 1 2 1 2 1 2 3 4. But now we're going to go 1 2 3 1 2 1 2 1 2 3 1 2 1 2 1 2 3 1 2 1 2 1 2 3 1 2 1 2 1 2 3 1 2 1 2 1 2 3. Now just say the ones. 1 1 1 1 1 1 1 1 1. Dan, can you do us a favor? Could you be our metronome? Just playing 8th notes on the rim. Louder though. There we go. Say the 7/8 measure. We're just gonna say the ones. 1 and 2 and ready, go. 1 1 1 1 1 1 dun dun dun. Try it again. Louder. It's just you have a regular stick, yeah. Tick 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 tick. Here we go. 1 1 1 1 1 1 1 1 1. Cool. Now most of you have something along the line, if you play there at all, have something along the lines of ta 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 dee dun 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 dun. You can count this in this way: 1 2 3 1 2 3 4 1 2 3 1 2 3 4. You may choose to count it like that, or you may choose to count it still with the 1 2 3 1 2 1 2 1 2 3 1 2 1 2. I'll let you choose however you count it, but now you're going to say your rhythms. Everyone, say your rhythms in the 7/8. You have 2 bars of it. Some of you have da 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 da. Some of you have da 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 da. Some of you have da 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 da. Just say your rhythm. I'll give you 4 beats in your end. 1 and 2 and ready, go. 1, 2, 3, da 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 and 2, 3, 4. That's it. All you have to do is land on the downbeat of the 4/4 together. Here we go. Do that again. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. 1, 2, 3, da 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 da. Cool. Again. 1, 2, ready, go. 1, 2, 3, ba da ba da ba da. If there's one thing where people slow down most, I would say it's the long note that you have. So for example, clarinets have this da da da, and this is ambiguously long half note. Da da da, and you're often late on the next note because the half note's too long. Da da da, da da da. 1, 2, 3, da, and 1, 2, 3, da, and go. Try it again. Speak your rhythms. 1, 2, ready, go. Da 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 da. That's it. Again. 1, 2, 3, and da 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 da. We'll get used to it. And there's not a whole lot of point of slowing this down too, because if you learn it slow, it sounds totally different and it feels different than it does at speed. So you just have to learn it twice in that case. We're gonna go back. Going to go back to 2 bars before the 7/8. This is measure 108, if that helps. 2 before the 7/8. And I'm just going to clap. 1, 2, 3, go! 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2. And we'll stop there. We'll do the 2 bars before and the 2 bars after. I think that kind of it eases us in and out. Again. 1, 2, 3, go. 1, 2, 3, and 1, 2, 3. Don't worry about the grace notes right now, trumpets, as we're trying to get everyone just locked into the downbeat. Even if you play the grace notes perfectly, it might trip some people up. So just go ba, ba. Let's go into sections. Can we have flute 1 and 2, and oboe, and that's it. Flute 1 and 2, and oboe. This is 2 bars before the 7/8. You don't play, but Brittany does. So come in at the 7/8 when you do. Oh, you don't play there at all? Okay. So Brittany and Dawn. 2 before the 7/8. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, and da 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 da. That's it. Good. Now let's have the people who have this. This is now clarinet 1, clarinet 2, clarinet 3, tenor sax, and baritone. Tenor sax and baritone. Clarinet, tenor sax, baritone. 2 bars before the 7/8. 1, 2, ready, go. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Da 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 and da 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 and 1, 2. That's better. One more time. 1, 2, ready, go. 1, 2, 3, 4. Da 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 da. Very nice. Everyone there. 2 bars before the 7/8. Trumpets are nailing this. 1, 2, 3, go! So clarinet 2, and actually clarinet 3, 3 clarinets, what happens there right after the 7/8? You all 3 of you have bum, bum, but not at the same time. Bum, 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 in order. Yeah. So Marjorie's on the first beat of 112, then you're on the 3rd beat, and then you're on the 1st beat of the next bar. Bum, 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 bum. All right, let's go back to 96. Dee, doom, dee, doom. 1, 2, and 1, 2, 3, 4. And Okay, at 1:14, if that didn't just sound so wholesome. it's, I don't know, remind me of hobbits or something. Let's go back to, where were we last rehearsal here? Did I write it down? Let's go to 62. Take a bit of a run at this. Push it forward just a touch. 62. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. And 1. Back there. Yeah, that's a fun, that's just the timpani. That's a nice little spotlight for you. Moving on, Mary Poppins. Don't want to spend a lot of time on this one either, just again reviewing the mess that we untangled last time. Take it up. Mary Poppins 328. It says the Derby, Jolly Holiday.
Get off of that figure.
Yeah, that does track with this, the way that this piece has been taken care of, yeah. This piece used to have a cut in it. They cut most of what we're about to play right now, actually. And so perhaps someone took it out, stapled it to the back, and go, we'll never need this. Well, then along comes this band which can play it. All right, 328. On full speed, yeah, just a nice leisurely stroll through the Derby. 328. 1, 2, 1, 2. Little tip for anyone that has the make the third note that you play the long note, the eighth note, make it a little bit short. Put a lift after it rather than That's going to help us lock in a bit more. Back to 328. 1, 2, 1, and. It's not just some kind of amorphous stuff. There's a rhythm to this. Da 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 da. That a bunch of times. So trumpet and saxes have that at 346. Da 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 da. Play that if you have it. Da 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 da. Just that much at 346. 1, 2, 1, and. So saxes, you don't have that? Okay. Isn't that fun? All right, trumpets only.
Well, that's nice for you.
Boring. Okay, trumpets only. Da 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 da. 1, 2, 1, and. You can breathe better than that and come in together. 1, 2, 1. That's it. And now the next part. Da 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 da. Ba da ba da. So let's string that together. 346. 1, 2, 1, and. That's fine. I don't honestly care what pitches you hit as long as the rhythm's correct. 1, 2, 1, and. And we almost kind of hear the hint of a melody, right? It's a jolly holiday. Dum, ba-dum, ba-da-ba-dum, ba-da-ba. A little hint of that in there. And then we get not just the hints, but a full-on in-your-face version of Spoonful of Sugar. Just a spoonful of sugar. Right? It's quick there. Sugar, for those of you who have it. 353, flutes and clarinets and oboe. 2 bars and you're in. 1, 2, 1, 2. Da da da, ta ta, 2 and. Very good. Let's go back to 353. Just play just a spoonful of sugar. Just play that much. Don't play the sugar. Don't hop yet. Just play until, play your 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 notes. That's it. 6 notes at 353. 1, 2, 1, and. That's it. Again. 1, 2, 1, and. Good. Now, that bar that we just stopped on, da-dum! Can you just play that bar? 1, 2, 1, and. Yeah. Think of it more like a trampoline. Instead of yaha, trying to reach it, put more air through the lower note so that the top note can kind of pop up. Da-ha! Da-ha! That bar. 2, 3, and. That's it. 1, 2, 1, and. Lovely. Add it together. Da-da-dum. To 353. 1, 2, 1, and. But now it's going to be faster, right? You did the old rhythm of 8th notes. Just a spoonful of sugar. Again, same place. 1, 2, 1, and. And. Yes, that's it. Let's have everyone now at 346. 346. And by the way, I've never played this sort of stuff on a flute before, so I don't know how useful it is telling you on that high note that you just finished on, it doesn't need to be so loud. Yeah. Again, that's why I was like, caveat, is that, is what I'm asking possible? Yeah. Da 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 da. It just kind of pops out quite a bit. So maybe make the notes around that a little bit stronger so that it doesn't seem so out of place when you jump up there. 346. 1, 2, 1, and. Someone dropped a beat or a bar, it could have been me. Sorry, 390 again. 1, 2, 1, and. That's it. Good. Last piece, Earthdance. 86.
Nope, thanks.
I can play them so well.
They're such a glue. It's such bad glue.
Earthdance 86. Almost sounds like Expo 86. Pardon?
I said I wasn't even thought of yet. I don't think you were considered.
No, that was 10 years in advance of me. Probably makes almost everyone in this band mad.
Just like.
Yeah. I am older than Nick by 2 months.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
Nick, the previous director, was an old roommate of mine, which is how I got word that this job was vacant. Well, the percussion's getting set up. Tell you what. Let's look at, where is it? Everyone comes together here. Aha! 133. I'm changing it just so percussion gets set. 133. And percussion, do whatever you need to, and we'll go back to 86 when I say that you're ready. Ba-da-da-ta-da-da. Right, that top note has to be re-articulated. Ta-ta-da-ta-da-da-da. 1, 2, and 1, 2, 3, and. At 135 for coming in at different times. Listen to the melody. This is what you have. If you play trumpet or flute or first clarinet or alto sax, any people have the melody. Da 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 da. Right, comes right off of beat 1, and some people are playing it a bit late there. Da 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 da, and 1 da 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 da. Here we are again. 133. 1, 2, and 1, 2, 3, and. And 1. there at 135. It's like 133, I think you get it. Da 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 da. That's pretty intuitive. This next part though, da 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 da. What's the strongest note in that phrase? I'd wager it's actually the fifth, yeah, 1, 2, 3, the fourth note that you play. Da 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 da. Can you see about putting an emphasis on that? Da 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 da. Right on beat 3. Let's go slowly at 133 and see if we can put the emphasis on the right syllable. I made up that joke, clearly. Never heard that before. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. 1. First note has 3 eighth notes in it. Bum, bum. 1 and 2 and. Again, that's slow. 1, 2, 3, and 4. 1, 2, 3. 1. Actually, yeah, I quite like how things are locking together that speed. We'll do that again and we'll keep going in a second. Not for very long. Second and third trumpets in 135 sustain that G and that D at a nice strong volume to help everyone else be supported up there. Don't back away from that. 133, that's speed again. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. 1, 2, 3, and 4, right? Yeah. So that second note in that 4/4 is on beat 3, not in advance of it. And alto saxes, you have a triplet right before that. Da, da, and 1, triplet da. The French horns also have that. I think it really is meant for French horn, like, you know, bells up, you know, movie soundtrack French horn, so bring that out quite a lot. Last time, 133. 1, 2, and 3, and 4. You still shouldn't lose that feeling of chicka chicka bum bum. Always subdividing there. 86. 1, 2, 3, and 1, 2, 3, and dragging a bit and bum bum. 1, 2, 3, and more Savannah. You're the only one there right now. 3 and yeah. 1, 2, 3. Right there, we worked on that a couple weeks ago.
I know. And?
It says forte in measure 99. I heard mezzo piano with the loudest. Play the right note and then don't panic. My professional advice. Everyone find measures 98 and 99. 98 and 99. This speed again. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3. Again. Notice whether you come in on beat 1, the and of beat 1, or beat 2. Right? You change. 1, 2, and 3, and 4. 1, 2, 3, and whatever you have there on beat 2 of 99. Ready? Adorable. It says forte. Try again. And can we get there now? Start at 98. 1, 2, and 3, and 4. 1, 2, 3, and 4. Yeah, isn't that a beautiful chord there? Nice and low and just. Try that again. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. 1. That's the stuff. Okay, go back to 94. 1, 2, and 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, weekend, everybody. Pardon? Yes. And anything quieter wouldn't have been. Yeah.
So I was talking about broken bonus snare, but I think that's what I did last week. Did you want brushes at the end then to whack, or do you just want sticks all the way through?
I'll come back there and get the camera, and then I'll see you in your music where you're looking at.